Hello and welcome to my newest episode of the Off Studio, where you are with me, your host Choi, and not Nate Rasa. So basically, I started school this week, and I wanted to basically talk about one of the methods that I use for studying, which is the Pomodoro technique. I've talked about it extensively on my personal channel as well as on Twitter and stuff. It's something that I'm a firm believer in and really like to do. So the Pomodoro method essentially, so the Pomodoro, if you don't know, is a type of tomato, and basically there's the tomato timer. That's why it's called the Pomodoro method, based around that timer. Basically, it's like a study method where you pre-plan out your breaks so that you're not distracted throughout your studying, and you have pre-planned times of when you get to take breaks and slack off compared to so let me just explain what it is first. So basically, essentially, for 25 minutes, you will put away all distractions, put your phone away, you're focused on a task, and you will finish that task, or you'll work on it really hard, and at 25 minutes, a timer will go off, and you're like, oh, it's break time, and then you give yourself a 5-minute break. So the reason why this is helpful is so you do this over and over and over. So I like to do thought for 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 hours. So the thing about Pomodoros is that maybe you don't actually need a break after 25 minutes. Maybe you could actually study for an hour before you get tired, or 2 hours, So for me, I could actually probably study 2.5 to 3 hours straight without getting extremely exhausted. But once I hit that 3 or 4 hour mark, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. But when I do Pomodoros, if I have the little breaks in between, it actually helps me to be able to study for a lot longer periods of time. If you need to study a lot, if you have a big test or something and you need to study 8 hours in a day because you procrastinated or whatever. So I really like that. So essentially, what I do is, I do my 25 minutes and then my 5 minutes, and during my 5-minute breaks, what I like to do is I go use the restroom if I have to, I grab some more water, I do 5 push-ups, and then I scroll Twitter for a couple more minutes, and then the timer goes off and I go back to work. And the thing of why this is extremely helpful as well is that compared to when you're normally just doing your work and then you get distracted, you scroll your phone and you go back to your work, that actually causes a lot of time wasted, and you spend a lot more time on your phone every 30 minutes compared to the Pomodoro, where you're only going to spend max 5 minutes on your phone every 30 minutes. You spend a lot more time when you're just distracted like that. So it's better, in my opinion, to set specific time of when you can slack off, as well as the fact that there's a lot of times when you think you're working and you're really not, and it's just a lot easier to take away the distractions. That way, it's not every 5 minutes you're interrupting yourself with 5 seconds of looking at your phone. It's you'll get to check your phone, you could reply at that point, and you don't have to take yourself away from the task at hand over and over and over, because that also decreases your productivity levels. So yeah, that's just one of the tips I wanted to share today for those of you who are in school or classes or have to get anything done. Try out the Pomodoro method. There are some timers online that you could use if you want, or you could just set alarms on your phone or your watch or your Fitbit or whatever you have. Yeah, so that's just one of my study methods that I really enjoy. So if you have any tips, or if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments, and I will see you on our next Off Studio episode. Goodbye.